Hello and welcome to the NL Health Services Bariatric Surgery Program. This is the second education webinar for patients, which will have a focus on nutrition and lifestyle change. Today, we'll start by talking about everyday habits. This includes the 10 lifestyle changes that you can start building into your routine as you get ready for bariatric surgery. Next, we'll talk about nutrition. This means learning what your body needs to stay healthy, like protein, vitamins, and fluids, and why these are especially important after surgery. Then we'll go over diet progression after surgery. Eating will happen in steps, and we'll explain what each stage looks like, how long it lasts, and why it's important to move slowly through each step. We'll also talk about common issues people may experience after bariatric surgery. Some people notice changes like nausea, upset stomach, or trouble tolerating certain foods. We'll review these concerns and share simple tips to help manage them. We'll cover psychological challenges related to nutrition and surgery, including both physical and emotional changes that can come with this journey. Finally, we'll discuss the next steps in the process, which includes completing the diet trials. As you get ready for bariatric surgery, there are some lifestyle changes that are important to start early. These changes help prepare your body for surgery and recovery. We will go through each of the 10 lifestyle changes in more detail. Let's start in with lifestyle change number 1, which is about meals, snacks, and portion sizes. This is about when we eat, how often we eat, and how much we eat. First, it's important not to skip meals. Skipping meals can make you feel extra hungry later and lead to overeating. We want to aim for 3 balanced meals each day: breakfast, lunch, and supper. At each meal, try to include some protein. Protein helps you feel full longer. This could be things like eggs, chicken, fish, beans, tofu, yogurt, or peanut butter. Between meals, it's okay and encouraged to have healthy snacks. Good snack options include fruits, vegetables, yogurt, or a small handful of nuts. Try not to go longer than 3 to 4 hours without eating. Eating regularly helps keep your energy steady and helps control hunger. It's also helpful to eat within 1 hour of waking up. This helps wake up your body and get your metabolism going. On the right side of the slide, you'll see example meal schedules. The first example shows a typical daytime routine, with meals and snacks spread throughout the day. The second example shows a schedule for someone who works night shifts. Even if your schedule is different, the goal is the same: eat regularly and avoid long gaps without food. This can be a very difficult adjustment, particularly for folks who work night shifts and rotational work. However, if we're assuming that you're going to continue to work in that field, then it's important to think within the boundaries of the work schedule that you have. Everyone's schedule is different, and that's okay. The main idea is regular meals, healthy snacks, and smaller portions. How and when you eat is just as important as what you eat. Lifestyle change number 2 is about eating well-balanced meals. You may recognize this picture from Canada's Food Guide. This is their version of a healthy plate, which, as you will see, includes proteins, fruits, and vegetables, as well as grains. They also highlight choosing water as your drink of choice. This plate is just a guide. You can mix foods together like in soups, stews, or casseroles. Just try to keep the same balance. It's important to point out that Canada's Food Guide is geared toward the general population and is not specific to bariatric surgery. This is an appropriate guide to follow before surgery, but after surgery, you can expect the distribution of these categories will change. This version of the healthy plate is more appropriate for someone who has had bariatric surgery. The categories of foods are essentially the same, but there is more of an emphasis on protein. By volume, protein foods will make up more of your diet after surgery. Creating balanced meals requires consideration of key nutrients, such as protein, carbohydrate, fat, fluids, as well as vitamins and minerals. Let's look at each of these key nutrients in more detail. Now let's talk about protein. Protein is found in every part of your body, your cells, tissues, and organs. Your body uses protein every day to stay healthy and heal. The important thing to know is that your body does not store protein. That means you need to get enough protein every single day from the foods you eat. You can't save it up for later. Women should aim for at least 60 grams of protein per day. Men should aim for at least 80 grams of protein per day. For most people, it is safe to eat more protein than this. However, it's important not to go below these minimum goals, as protein is key for healing, strength, and recovery, especially around surgery. So, why is protein so important? Protein plays many important roles in your body. Protein helps with weight loss by helping you feel full, which can reduce hunger and snacking. It also helps your body heal. Protein is a building block that helps repair tissues. Protein is important for your immune system, helping your body fight illness and infection. It also helps you keep your energy levels up throughout the day. Where do we get protein? Protein comes from two main sources: animal sources and plant sources. Animal protein sources include foods like meat, fish, and poultry. Plant-based protein sources include foods like beans and legumes, as well as nuts and seeds. Carbohydrates are one of your body's main sources of energy. They help fuel your brain, muscles, and organs, so your body can function throughout the day. Your brain especially depends on carbohydrates to think clearly and stay focused. Your muscles also use carbohydrates to help you move and stay active. Some carbohydrates, like fiber, help keep your digestion regular and support gut health. Fiber also helps you feel full after meals, which can help with portion control. Carbohydrates also help your body use protein properly. When you eat enough carbohydrates, your body can use protein for healing and muscle repair instead of burning it for energy. Any extra carbohydrates your body doesn't need right away are stored as energy, so they can be used later between meals or during physical activity. Foods that contain carbohydrates include bread, rice, and pasta, as well as fruit, milk, yogurt, and foods like beans and lentils. For bariatric surgery, you do not need to count or track carbohydrates. That is not a requirement of the program. However, for some health conditions such as diabetes, carbohydrates do matter and can affect blood sugar and medications. If this applies to you, it's important to follow the advice given by your healthcare team. Fat is another important part of your diet and plays several key roles in your body. Fat provides energy, especially between meals when your body needs fuel. Fat also helps your body absorb certain vitamins, vitamins A, D, E, and K, which are important for things like bone health, vision, and your immune system. Fat is needed to keep your cells healthy and to make some hormones. It also helps protect your organs and keeps your body warm. Some examples of fat in the diet include oils, butter, margarine, seeds, nuts, nut butters, avocado, fatty fish, and other animal foods. Again, for the purposes of bariatric surgery and this program, you do not need to count or track your dietary fat intake. Fluid is a key nutrient and an important part of a healthy diet. It's important to keep track of how much you drink every day. Your goal is 2 to 3 liters of fluid per day. You may need more if the weather is hot or if you are exercising. Fluids help keep your body hydrated and working properly. Most of your fluids should come from water. Some fluids can also come from milk or other low-calorie drinks. When you are tracking your intake, be sure to include all fluids you drink. Remember, you should avoid all caffeine, all carbonated drinks, and all alcohol. It's also important to watch for signs of dehydration, especially after surgery, when drinking enough can be more challenging. Signs of dehydration can include thirst, headache, feeling tired, dry mouth, muscle cramps, dizziness or lightheadedness, dark-colored urine, or ringing in your ears. Vitamins and minerals are small but very important nutrients that help your body work properly. They help your body use energy from the foods you eat so you can stay active and alert. They also support your immune system, helping your body fight illness. Some vitamins and minerals, like calcium and vitamin D, help keep your bones and teeth strong. They help your body heal and repair tissues, including skin, hair, and other tissues. Vitamins and minerals also help your nerves and muscles work properly. Getting enough of these nutrients helps prevent health problems caused by deficiencies. Later in this presentation, we will talk in more detail about multivitamins and recommendations for before and after surgery. Let's go back to our healthy plate and talk about building balanced meals. Balanced meals are all about variety, including different types of foods on your plate. When you are thinking about fruits and vegetables, fresh, frozen, or canned all work well. Try to limit juice, because it has a lot of sugar. Before surgery, aim for about 1 cup of colorful vegetables at each meal. After surgery, 1/2 cup of vegetables at meals is reasonable. For grains, choose high-fiber options whenever you can. Include a protein food with every meal. Add small amounts of healthy fats, and try to limit processed foods, which often contain less healthy fats. For more ideas, check your bariatric surgery booklet, which shows examples of how to build healthy meals for breakfast, lunch, and supper using a variety of foods. Moving ahead to lifestyle change number 3. This lifestyle change is about planning your meals. Planning ahead can help save time, save money, and make healthier choices easier. We can break meal planning into 4 easy steps. We call them the 4 Ps: plan, purchase, prepare, and pack. First is plan. This means thinking about what you will eat ahead of time. You don't have to plan a whole week. You can start with just 1 or 2 days. Write down your meals and snacks, then make a grocery list to help you stay organized. Next is purchase. This is grocery shopping. Try to buy only what is on your list. This helps avoid impulse buys. You can buy fresh, frozen, or canned foods. They all count. If you can, take a quick look at food labels to check ingredients. The third step is prepare. This means getting food ready ahead of time. Think about what makes cooking hard for you: time, energy, or skills. Preparing food in advance can help. Simple meals are okay. Using a slow cooker, one-pot meals, or sheet pan meals can make things easier. The last step is pack. This means having food ready to take with you. Pack your lunch or snacks the night before. You can freeze extra meals in portions. This gives you easy grab-and-go options when you're busy. You don't have to do all 4 steps perfectly. Even doing one small step can make a big difference. The goal is to make healthy eating easier, not harder. Now we're going to talk about lifestyle change number 4, reading nutrition labels and ingredient labels. These are the labels you see on packaged foods like boxes, cans, or bags. Reading labels can help you make better food choices. This is a good practice to help you understand more about the foods you are consuming. Let's start with this picture, which highlights a few of the important areas. Then, we will move into a more specific example. When looking at a nutrition label, it's important to start with the portion size. This is located near the top of the label. This tells you how much food the label is talking about. Sometimes the portion size is smaller than what we actually eat, so this part is really important. For example, soup cans are often labeled in 1/2 cup or 1 cup portions, but you may actually eat 2 cups. Therefore, that would be reflective of different nutritional intake. Another important consideration is the percent daily value. This number helps you see if a food has a little or a lot of something. As a general rule, 5% or less is a little, and 15% or more is a lot. You can use this to compare foods and choose the healthier option. So, for example, let's look at sodium, which is something we only want in moderation. In this picture, you can see that the sodium content here is 26% of the daily value for sodium. Remember the rule: 15% or more is a lot. Therefore, this food is high in sodium, and you might want to consider a different choice. Try to choose foods with less fat, sugar, and salt. So, when these numbers are high, that food may not be the best choice to have often. Try to choose foods with more protein, fiber, vitamins, and minerals. These help keep you full, support healing, and keep your body healthy. You don't need to understand every number on the label. Even checking just 1 or 2 things like protein or sugar can make a big difference. This is a skill, and it gets easier the more you practice. Let's compare these 2 granola bar products. On the left, we have Nature Valley Lunchbox in chocolate chip flavor. On the right, we have Nature Valley Sweet and Salty in peanut flavor. If we start with the portion size, we can see that each product has the portion size listed as 1 bar. This is pretty typical for something like a granola bar, where we assume that a person would consume 1 full granola bar. Next, we can look at a couple of the key nutrients. Here, we can compare between things such as fat, fiber, sugars, protein, and sodium, which may help to choose between these 2 products. Let's start with fat. The Lunchbox granola bar is lower in fat, so that might be something to consider. Moving down to fiber, we can see the Lunchbox granola bar has 18% daily value of fiber. Using the 5 to 15% rule, this is higher than 15%, and therefore would be considered a good source of fiber. Comparatively, the Sweet and Salty bar has a moderate fiber content at 2 grams, which is 7% of the daily value for fiber. Protein content is slightly lower in the lunchbox bar, at 2 grams versus 4 grams in the sweet and salty bar. Finally, sodium content is similar between the two products. When we look at the big picture here, the Nature Valley Lunchbox granola bar is lower in fat, sugar, and sodium. Plus, it is higher in fiber. Although the protein content is similar, the Lunchbox bar is lower in calories overall too. Therefore, this may be a better option. Next, let's look at the ingredients list. The ingredients list shows all the ingredients in a food product, starting with the ingredient that weighs the most and ending with the ingredient that weighs the least. This means the ingredients at the beginning make up most of the food, while the ones at the end are in smaller amounts. For example, the Nature Valley Lunchbox granola bar has whole grain rolled oats listed first. This tells us that oats are the main ingredient. In contrast, the Nature Valley sweet and salty granola bar has sugar listed first, which means sugar is the main ingredient in that product. Looking further down the label at allergens, the Lunchbox bar does not contain any nuts. This makes it a safe option for nut-free facilities like schools, so it's a good option to add to a child's lunch bag. Overall, when we look at both the nutrition label and the ingredients list, the Lunchbox bar is a good choice. It's also a versatile option that can be enjoyed by many members of the family. Changing gears, let's now move into lifestyle change number 5. Be aware of your triggers and cues for emotional eating. Emotional eating means eating because of how we feel, not because our body's hungry. As you start to move through this journey toward bariatric surgery, it is extremely important to start understanding the why. Why do I eat? Food is sometimes used to help us feel better. We might eat to calm down, distract ourselves, or numb feelings. This can happen with many emotions, not just bad ones. Some people eat when they feel stressed or rushed. Others eat when they feel bored, lonely, tired, or angry. Even happy feelings can lead to eating. There is no right or wrong here. This is very common, but awareness matters. The goal is not to stop eating or to feel guilty. The goal is to notice what is going on before we eat. We can start by asking ourselves, am I hungry or am I feeling something? After surgery, eating for emotions may not feel as good as it used to. That's why it's helpful to learn new ways to cope with feelings. Just noticing your triggers is a big first step. You don't have to change everything at once. This is about learning, not about being perfect. Emotional eating is not about willpower. It's about learning new skills and finding new ways to cope. You may have heard the term mindful eating. Mindful eating means slowing down and paying attention while you eat. When you can, try to eat without screens like the TV, phone, or tablet. Pay attention to the taste and texture of your food and notice how your body feels while you eat. For many people, evening time is when mindless eating is more likely to happen. For example, eating a whole bag of chips while watching TV. When we're distracted, it's easier to eat without noticing how much we're eating or whether we're still hungry. This can lead to overeating. Notice your food. Ask yourself, what am I eating? How much am I eating? Check in with your body to see if you are still hungry or starting to feel full. Reduce distractions. Distractions like TV or phones can cause us to eat more without realizing it. Even small changes, like putting your phone away, can make a difference. Notice your body. Pay attention to hunger and fullness cues. Also notice how your body feels after you eat. Other positive coping strategies. Coping strategies are tools that help us deal with stress, emotions, or difficult situations. Food does not have to be the only way to cope with feelings. Other coping strategies might include going for a walk, calling a friend, taking deep breaths, or listening to music. Different strategies work for different people. The role of mental health support. Psychologists are trained to help with emotional eating and to support people in finding healthier coping strategies. They can help you learn skills to manage stress, emotions, and habits. This is an important part of the overall journey. You may remember this image from Webinar 1. It comes from Obesity Canada and shows the pillars of obesity management. Psychological and behavioral support is one of these key pillars. This is one example of how therapy can be helpful when making health changes. Remember, you don't have to do everything at once. Even one small change is a step forward. Support is available, and you don't have to do this alone. Now, let's move into lifestyle change number 6. Keeping a daily food journal. Food journaling is a type of self-monitoring, and self-monitoring is a key part of long-term success. You may already be familiar with self-monitoring from other health conditions. For example, people with diabetes check their blood sugar to see how well they are managing their condition. People with high blood pressure may check their blood pressure at home. These tools help people notice patterns and make changes when needed. Food journaling works the same way. It helps you see what you are eating, notice patterns or challenges, and make more informed choices. Your daily food journal is one of the most powerful tools to help you stay aware, mindful, and accountable to yourself. To get the most benefit from food journaling, it's important to know how to fill it out properly and what information to include. We'll look at an example on the next slide, but in general, you should record the time you eat, the foods you eat, and portion sizes, key nutrition information, such as protein, calories, and fluid intake. Try to keep your food journals detailed, accurate, and consistent. There are many phone apps that can be used for food journaling. Many patients find apps faster and more convenient, which makes them easier to keep up with. One example is Bariatric, an app designed specifically for people going through bariatric surgery. If you prefer, you can also use paper food journals. A food journal template is included in your bariatric surgery booklet and can be used instead of an app. Here's an example of a daily food journal. On the left-hand side, you'll see the times for meals and snacks. In the next column, you record what you ate and drank, along with the portion sizes. Portion size is very important. You can't track nutrition accurately unless the portion size is correct. For example, 1/4 cup of unsalted almonds is about 210 calories. If you actually ate 1 full cup, that would be over 800 calories. That's a big difference. Next, you record the protein and calories for each food or drink. You also track fluids throughout the day. This includes all non-caffeinated, non-carbonated, and non-alcoholic drinks, such as water, protein shakes, milk, or Gatorade Zero. At the end of the day, you add up your total protein, total calories, and total fluids. As we mentioned earlier, food journaling apps can make this easier. Apps automatically add up the nutrition for you. You just need to enter the foods and accurate portion sizes of what you ate and drank. Lifestyle change number 7. Start taking a daily multivitamin mineral supplement. Vitamins and minerals are important nutrients and are a key part of your health, both before and after bariatric surgery. Before surgery, we recommend starting a daily multivitamin. This helps prepare your body and allows you to build the habit early. Choose a complete adult multivitamin tablet. Avoid children's vitamins and gummy vitamins, as they do not contain the right types or amounts of vitamins and minerals that adults need. After surgery, you will be eating much smaller amounts of food, and your body may not absorb nutrients the same way. Because of this, food alone may not provide all the vitamins and minerals your body needs. This can increase the risk of low vitamin and mineral levels, which may lead to physical or mental health problems. Taking your vitamins every day helps prevent issues like low energy, hair loss, weak bones, and nerve problems. These supplements are not optional. They are part of your treatment and are needed for life after surgery. This is not just for the first few months. Starting this habit now will make it easier after surgery. After surgery, we will check your blood work regularly to make sure your vitamin and mineral levels are safe. This is why it's important to complete blood tests as requested by your bariatric team. Here are some examples of multivitamin supplements you can use before and after surgery. Before surgery, a standard adult multivitamin is appropriate. After surgery, you will need to use a hard chewable multivitamin for the first month while your body is healing. After this initial healing period, you can switch back to a regular adult multivitamin tablet. Lifestyle change. Number 8, avoid caffeinated, carbonated, and alcoholic beverages. This lifestyle change focuses on stopping caffeinated, carbonated, and alcoholic drinks. It's important to start working on this now, as it helps prepare your body for surgery and recovery. Why avoid caffeine? Caffeinated drinks can cause several problems. They can lead to dehydration, making it harder for your body to stay hydrated. They may irritate your stomach and digestive lining. Caffeine can worsen acid reflux, which can increase irritation and dehydration. Caffeine can reduce appetite, which may cause you to miss important nutrition. These drinks provide little to no nutritional value. Why avoid carbonated drinks? Carbonated beverages can cause discomfort and healing concerns. Carbonation creates gas, which increases pressure in the stomach. This pressure can cause pain, bloating, nausea, or vomiting. Vomiting or retching can place stress on the healing staple line after surgery. Discomfort can also make it harder to drink enough fluids, increasing the risk of dehydration. Why avoid alcohol? Alcohol can interfere with healing and nutrition. It can irritate the digestive lining and worsen reflux. Alcohol can increase the risk of low blood sugar after surgery. Many alcoholic drinks are high in sugar, which can lead to weight gain. The big picture takeaway: all of these drinks come with risks and provide very little nutrition. After surgery, it can already be hard to get enough nutrients and fluids. Choosing caffeinated, carbonated, or alcoholic drinks can take the place of healthier options, making it harder for your body to heal and stay strong. Lifestyle change number 9. Introduce regular exercise. Regular exercise is very important for long-term success after bariatric surgery. Being active helps support weight loss, prevents weight regain, and improves overall health. Health Canada recommends at least 150 minutes of physical activity each week. A simple way to reach this goal is to aim for 30 minutes of activity most days of the week. If 30 minutes at once feels like too much, that's okay. Short 10-minute sessions spread throughout the day also count and still provide health benefits. It's important to set aside time each day for physical activity. Always work within your limits and choose activities that do not cause pain. Start slowly and build up as your strength improves. Walking and swimming are great options for many people, especially when getting started. The most important thing is to find an activity that you enjoy and can do regularly. Exercise can be done in many ways, including at home using online videos, DVDs, or fitness apps outdoors, or in your community. If you have pain, mobility concerns, or are unsure where to start, getting support from a physiotherapist or exercise physiologist can be very helpful. Remember, regular exercise plays a key role in maintaining weight loss and preventing weight regain after surgery. Lifestyle change number 10. Eliminate smoking. If you smoke, you are required to quit before you can move forward in the bariatric surgery program. Quitting smoking is necessary to reduce the risk of complications and to support safe healing after surgery. Support is available to help you quit. Talk with your primary care provider about quit options and medications. Call the Newfoundland and Labrador Smokers Helpline for free advice and support. Visit the website listed on this slide for additional tools and resources. It's important to know that quitting smoking can sometimes lead to weight gain. This is common and manageable. Finding healthy habits or activities such as walking, stress relief techniques, or new hobbies can help replace smoking. Quitting smoking is a critical step in your care journey, and support is available to help you succeed. That brings us to the end of the 10 lifestyle changes that can help set you up for success as you prepare for bariatric surgery. Now, let's talk about diet progression. We've already gone over the full fluid diet and the healthy eating diet. Next, we'll look at how your diet will change before and after surgery, and how you will move through each stage safely. Once you've completed the early steps of the bariatric surgery program, and your bariatric surgery team has cleared you for surgery, it's time to start thinking about the diet changes that happen around surgery. This graphic shows how your eating will change at different stages of the journey. Most of the diet changes happen just before surgery and during the first weeks and months after surgery. Before surgery, you will follow a full fluid diet. This usually lasts about 2 to 3 weeks, but for some people it may need to be longer. On the day of surgery, once you are awake and recovering, you will start with small sips of water or clear fluids. If this goes well, you will then move back to the full fluid diet. After surgery, you will stay on the full fluid diet for about 4 weeks. This special diet gives your stomach time to heal. When your body is ready, you will move on to a soft diet for another 4 weeks. Over time, this leads to your maintenance diet. This is a healthy way of eating that you will follow for the rest of your life to support your health and weight management. With that overview in mind, let's take a closer look at each phase. Full fluid diet. While you're on the full fluid diet, getting enough protein is very important. Women should aim for at least 60 grams of protein each day. Men should aim for at least 80 grams per day. For most people, it is safe to have more protein than this, but it's important not to have less. After surgery, while you are on the full fluid diet, the long-term goal is to work back up to about 1,200 calories per day. That said, in the first few weeks after surgery, your intake will naturally be lower while your body heals. A good short-term goal is at least 800 calories per day. As time goes on and you are able to tolerate more, your intake will slowly increase. Most people do not reach 1,200 calories during the first 4 weeks after surgery, and that is okay. Fluids are just as important. You should aim for 2 to 3 liters of fluid every day. This includes all fluids you drink, such as water, protein shakes, broth, decaffeinated tea or coffee, and sugar-free drinks like Gatorade Zero. It's also important to keep filling out your daily food journal during this time, even if you feel like you're not eating much. Tracking helps make sure you are meeting your protein and fluid goals each day. These goals are key for healing, keeping your strength, protecting muscle, and preventing dehydration. For the first 4 weeks after surgery, your multivitamin should be chewable. If needed, you can also crush your regular vitamin and mix it into full fluid foods, such as yogurt or applesauce. The main goals of the full fluid diet are to avoid sugary drinks and foods with added sugar and to limit higher fat choices. The full fluid diet is a very important part of this journey. You will need to follow the full fluid diet at 3 different times along the way. The first time is during the diet trials. This is the next step after you complete this webinar. The diet trial helps prepare you for surgery. During this time, you will learn about protein, fluids, and calories. Learn how to track and calculate your daily intake. Have the chance to try different full fluid products. Because the full fluid diet is required for about 6 to 7 weeks in total around the time of surgery, it's important to show that you can follow it safely. This is similar to getting a driver's license. You have to show you can drive safely before you're allowed on the road. If you're not able to complete the diet trial safely, it may not be safe for your health to move forward with surgery at this time. The second time you will follow the full fluid diet is right before surgery. At this stage, the goal is to help shrink the liver and reduce fat in the area. This gives the surgeon better access during surgery and helps make the surgery safer with lower risk. The third and final time you will follow the full fluid diet is after surgery. At this stage, the goal is to give your stomach time to heal and recover after the operation. The soft diet. The soft diet starts about 4 weeks after your surgery, once you have finished the full fluid diet. This diet includes foods that are easy to digest and gentle on your stomach. When you first start the soft diet, you will focus on protein foods. Examples include scrambled eggs, baked fish, lean ground meats, and tofu. Soft cooked vegetables would also be appropriate. Your portion sizes will be very small at the beginning. It's important to eat slowly and chew your food very well. At first, you may only be able to tolerate 1 to 2 tablespoons at a time. Over the 4 weeks on the soft diet, this will slowly increase to about 1/4 to 1/2 cup per meal. One very important rule to remember is that you must separate liquids and solids once you start eating solid foods. This means you should not eat and drink at the same time. This is a lifelong rule that helps support your long-term success. The maintenance diet. The maintenance diet includes regular texture foods. You will start slowly and only increase as you feel comfortable. Everyone moves through this stage at their own pace. At first, your portion sizes will still be small, usually about 1/2 to 1 cup per meal. Over time, this may increase to about 1 cup or sometimes a little more. The focus of the maintenance diet is healthy, balanced eating and choosing foods for their nutrition. This diet is also called the healthy eating diet. You will practice this diet during your diet trials. After surgery, once you reach this stage, this is the way of eating you will follow for life. Details about each diet, the full fluid diet, the soft diet, and the maintenance diet, can all be found in your bariatric surgery booklet. Common problems. Anytime you make big changes to your eating and lifestyle, it's normal to run into some challenges. After bariatric surgery, there are a few common issues that many people experience. One common issue is food intolerance. This means some foods may not sit well with you anymore. Everyone is different, but foods that are often harder to tolerate include doughy breads, pasta, rice, high-fat foods, high-sugar foods, raw vegetables, and foods with tough skins or membranes. Bowel changes such as constipation are also common. This can happen because of changes in the types and amounts of food you eat, how much you drink, and medications you may be taking. Over time, your body usually adjusts to new bowel habits. Nausea and vomiting can happen more often in the early stages after surgery. Vomiting should not be a regular issue. Most of the time, nausea and vomiting are related to eating habits. Eating slowly, chewing food very well, eating in a calm setting, and separating liquids from solids can all help reduce these symptoms. Gas pain is most common right after surgery. It can be uncomfortable, but one of the best things you can do is get up and move around. Gentle walking helps the gas move through your system. There can also be emotional and mental changes. Adjusting to this new way of eating can be hard. Your relationship with food will change, and you may not enjoy food the same way you used to. You may also need more structure and routine around meals. Some people feel a sense of loss or grief about these changes, and that is normal. These changes can also affect social situations with friends and family, especially if others don't fully understand your new lifestyle. While many people feel happy about weight loss, new body image concerns can also come up, such as dealing with loose skin. During these times, it can help to focus on the bigger picture, improvements in your health and quality of life. These are just a few examples of common challenges. You can find more details, along with other common concerns, in your bariatric surgery booklet. Most importantly, remember that your bariatric surgery team is here to support you every step of the way. So, as we have referenced, the next steps in this process is to complete your diet trials. The diet trials include 1 week of the healthy eating diet and 1 week of the full fluid diet. You can complete these in either order, whatever works best for you. These trials give you a chance to practice the changes you will need to make after surgery. This is the time to use all of the lifestyle changes we talked about earlier. The trials also help you learn how to fill out your daily food journals accurately and build the habit of completing them every day, which is something you will continue for life. The trials are also a time for self-reflection. They give you the chance to think about whether you feel ready and able to commit to these changes long term. When you are finished, these diet trials will need to be submitted and will be reviewed by the dietitian. If you need to review the guidelines for either diet trial, you can rewatch this webinar. The guidelines are also explained in your bariatric surgery booklet. We encourage you to use an electronic food journaling app, such as Baritastic or MyFitnessPal. If you prefer to write things down, you can use the food journal template found in your bariatric surgery booklet. Here's an example of a food journal for the healthy eating diet. And here's an example of a food journal for the full fluid diet. That concludes our presentation on nutrition and lifestyle changes for bariatric surgery. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you would like to continue with the program, please complete your diet trials and submit them to the bariatric surgery program email within the time frame provided. We look forward to working with you in the future.